teach you, teach and
Okay, I will teach you.
get settled.
Now, I'm so delighted this afternoon to stand in front of you, not for notes, but for you to teach. This afternoon, we are going to discuss about education in as far as anthropology is concerned. When we are talking about education, probably we need first of all to define what education is, or you will go and find out the meaning of education on your own. But I should just begin on saying that there are two types of education in as far as anthropology is concerned. There are two types of education. The first type of education, which is believed to be there by anthropologists, is what we call formal education. Formal education. The second type of education is also called informal. Is called informal. So there are two types of education. By the way, can you go mivando ya perception bazitenge bag yanga ya black bakala nzungu ndiye utenge bag yekaya. I will wait for you for a moment. Thank you for bringing my bag. As I said, there are two types of education. In the first type of education, we refer to as formal education first of all. Formal education. Formal education is the type of education that uses that uses a life. It has its own characteristics. It has a form. It has a course outline. Formal education characteristics. Its characteristics include that it has a course outline. Formal education. Its characteristics of formal education. One, it has a course outline. Do you know what a course outline is? Have you ever seen a course outline before? How does it look like? Course outline. Yes, you're right. It has topics which are supposed to be taught to the students. It has topics, and those topics are the ones that are supposed to be taught to the students. Topics are available on the course outline. We are just discussing the course outline alone. But we are saying informal education is characterized by a course outline. Secondly, and then a course outline, it is a list, a document that has a list. A list of what? A list of topics which are supposed to be taught to the students. And remember, formal education has the following characteristics. It has a list of topics to be taught to students, and this is called a course outline. Okay, I am sure you are learning on the characteristics of the formal education, but we have not yet exhausted all the characteristics. Let me continue by giving you what we call formal education characteristics are. The other one, a characteristics of formal education is that there are teachers. It has teachers whose work is to teach. Whose work is to teach the students. There are teachers whose work is that of teaching the students, and that is formal education. So far, I have managed to give you what we call two characteristics of formal education. The first one stipulates that formal education has what? Has what? Course outline. And then the other one is that formal education has teachers. And also, formal education, its characteristics, one of its other characteristics are that students take examination. They have to take examination. After examination, formal education stipulates that the students are supposed to receive certificates at the end. Are you there? Yes. They receive certificates at the end, and that is formal education. Characteristics of formal education are how many? How many are there? Four characteristics. Number one, we are saying that it has teachers, or it has course outline. It has teachers. It has what we call, they write examinations and they get certificates at the end. But before we continue, let me add this fifth issue. In connection to formal education, the fifth issue is that formal education has references. It uses references. And these references are sometimes referred to as books or journals, which are used as absolute authorities to what? As references for the students. But are we as anthropologists, our interest is not on formal education. Formal education is a structure. Probably you can take that one as one, the 6 characteristics of formal education is structured, where you see students, where you see lecturers, where you see the dean, where you see other officers. It is structured. The registrar is also there. So, our interest, brothers, here is not actually formal education. No. We as anthropologists, our interest is in informal education. Anthropologists do not actually believe in structured education. No. They believe in non-structured type of education, which is called informal and formal. Now, you can look at the note which you have. Now, to come up with the characteristics of informal education, can you tell me some of the characteristics? By making comparison method. What you have is what you have on formal education. What you don't have is what we call characteristics of informal education. So, by doing the opposite of what you have, can you tell me the characteristics of informal education? No course outline for what we call informal education. To go exam, there are no course outline. Everybody learns what he sees. Clear? Everybody learns what you see. Oh, kukazimeshima matere yakuzira amamba kutenga moto koleza kutenga chiwaya kuika ya masasu gaso ya malima jezu gasha nchani jomwejo ndi moto you form. And then you show the mess, you put it into the flying pan, and what happens? The mess started, then it turns color, you start eating. No course outline. Another characteristics of informal education? No teacher. Whosoever performs what? That one become a what? A teacher. Teachers are the performers, those that can do any activity in the presence of who? Anybody are called what? Teachers. No educated teachers, no teachers with the papers from college. Everybody becomes a teacher in as far as informal education is concerned. Another characteristic? Yes. At the end of formal education, you do not receive any what? Certificate. Why?
There's no course outline, there are no teachers.
There is no examination. Iwewe pamenoka wanakuza kuti kugwira mbere lankazama kugwira zvenjika
That is the formal education. Is there anybody who really taught you? Unaona bwana? Yeah, who told you that kugira ni makala baba ndeni malikira? Who told you?
That's common sense. Common sense.
No, you can't do it. There is somewhere, there is somebody who taught you how to do it. But there is never remember. Good. There must be somebody who taught you how to do it. Or you saw somebody who taught you that this is how to hug a woman. You saw it from other people. No teacher will get a certificate by now knowing who do you have a graduation. Will you get a certificate? You just know that for yourself. And that is how anthropology see education. No teacher, no books, no certificate, no examination. And that is informal education. Now, we say no teachers, but there are actors whose actions are regarded as deeds of the teachers. Who are the teachers now? We say they are not teachers, but there are some people who facilitate informal education. And these people who facilitate informal education, we do not take them as teachers per se, but they are just actors. And when they act, you happen to be learning from them. Who are they? Number one, actors. People who act as teachers. Number one, are peers. You know the peers? Who are the peers?
For example, like this one. Your friend.
This one can be your peer? Or actually he is? Okay. So, the learners, and if I think yes, the learners learn from one another, and we say they learn from their peers. People who are growing at the same time together with them. Those are peers. Another teacher who are the teachers or facilitators of informal education. Probably they are parents, your parents. Today, it can be surprising if we can see you. Wapitoka biza kutoa watuko ndiye kukabwera kumaza kukuruga banchenga kuti nchengo okusese. I think this is what children do, right? Wakapika mulomino huko akukabwera za kukuruga banchenga kumatenga tabori kumaliendesa banchenga yote kuti nchenga ojoza hasa bibi zokali. Can you do that at this age of yours? And that will go back to those who are sick and men are very than I think in Kulu. Yes. So your parents are they also act as teachers of informal education. Anthropologists value informal education for so many reasons. Teachers, another side of facilitators for informal education are pastors. Tikamalagira, brothers and sisters, refrain from stealing. If you steal, you will go to Gehenna. And then the children are listening and they say, what is the Gehenna? And then we add, Gehenna, ndio kumeni uzaka moto osata, muzasha muzaya, and the people remember that moto, mmeroma wawira moja, ndiyo kachiteko yafuka muntu yese watuntu chifukwa chakuti unapashuga. If there is something good to stop, it's kusiya kupashuga. It is not doing. The people are learning from the pastors. Are pastors, when they preach, teachers? Not at all. They are just facilitating the divine function of the Lord. They are not your teachers. And that is right. Peers, parents, pastors, teachers, they are regarded as teachers of informal education. Another set of facilitators for informal education are chiefs. The chiefs themselves. You know, the chiefs, sometimes they can bring people together and they say, you, my people, aliyesawezeka atagwirira muntu muzimanga muno ndizampasa chilango. And the people say, chilango chakachitoni chamulitsa bango kapena akachitoni pangira zithu zoti nkapange ine ndili moyo. If there is something to know or to refrain from, is what? Is to refrain from kubaho. Bizimene tikupfuzira mazuwa. Now, anthropologists do not like formal education. For example, based on what we have explained here, what type of education is the UNILIL offering to students? One,
was at the end of the
hello?
Because it has this characteristics.
Is helpful?
It has the characteristics of formal education.
it has teachers. And also at the end, you also have a certificate on diploma.
Okay. Because I can ask you a question saying, using the anthropological understanding on education, what type of education is the University of Lilongwe offering to its students? Provide 5 points.
Formal education was it also provides library. Teachers. Also applied to be.
Yeah. Make sure that the questions may not come directly as they came last time. There might be another way of asking it because you may end up memorizing Gujama Fusa George. So, then, anthropologists like me favor formal education for the following reasons. Anthropologists, they favor informal education. They favor, they like that for the following reasons, which means if I say they favor, that is for the following reasons.